first we have this metals. So metals are typically hard, shiny, malleable means you can make them into thin sheets, fusible, ductile means can be drawn into thin wires. For example, if you take copper, it can be made into very thin wires. So copper is highly ductile in nature and with good electrical and thermal conductivity. So what are the properties of metal, ma? They are hard, shiny, malleable, fusible, ductile with good electrical and thermal conductivity. Okay, so except mercury, most of the metals are solids at room temperature, but because mercury is liquid at room temperature, remaining most of the elements, not all, most of the elements, they are solid at room temperature, and the metals, they occupy large area in the periodic table. So already we have seen alkali metals, alkaline earth metals and transition metals, and if you take in P block, there are few elements in the P block also which are metals. Okay, non-metals. Non-metal is an element that does not have the property of a metal. We call it as a non-metal. So they are not shiny, they are not hard, they are not malleable and suitable and ductile. And in other words, non-metal is an element that do not have the properties of metal, you can say. All non-metals are arranged in P block only. As I told you before, P block only carries all the three varieties like metals, non-metals and metalloids. They are present only in P block. So non-metal is present only in P block, like carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, sulfur, selenium, and all the halogens and inert gases are non-metals. Next, if you take this metalloids, they have the properties of both metal and non-metal. For example, boron and arsenic, they are also present in P block only. Moving on to the last part of the lesson, which is your alloys. This was discovered during 3500 BC. People using an alloy named bronze. So people were using an element, call it as bronze, which is an alloy. So the idea of making an alloy was very, very old. So the majority of the metallic substances used today are alloys only, because if alloys means what? Mixing the metals. Okay, like if you mix them together, their strength will be increased. That is why we make it as alloys. Alloys are the mixture of, so you can see the definition here. Alloys, so from here it starts. Alloys are the mixture of two or more metals and are formed by mixing molten metals thoroughly. Rarely, what are mixed together? Non-metals are also mixed with metals to produce alloys. So generally metals and metals only, they will be mixed together. Very rarely non-metals can also be mixed to form alloys. It is generally found that alloying produces the metallic substance that has more useful properties than the original pure metal form which it is made. If you take brass, which is made from copper and zinc, individually copper and zinc will not have more strength, but if you mix them together, you will get an alloy called brass, which is highly strength and more useful. So let us see some advantages of alloys now. So what are the advantages we have? These alloys, they don't get corroded, which means turupidikadu, okay, or they will get corroded to a very less extent only, and they are harder and stronger than pure metals. Like gold, if you take, you cannot use the gold directly without mixing copper. So gold is mixed with copper and it is harder than this pure gold, and they have less conductance than pure metals, because copper is good conductor of heat and electricity, whereas brass and bronze are not good conductors. Okay, we can use them very easily. If they don't conduct electricity, means like utensils and all we are using, no, so that is very useful, very easy for us to use. They don't have good conducting property who don't have alloys. And some of the alloys have lower melting point than pure metals. For example, solder is an alloy of lead and tin which has lower melting point than each of metals. When metal is alloyed with mercury, we call it as amalgam. So never forget this. When metal is alloyed with mercury, we call it as amalgam. When you mix sodium and mercury, we call it as sodium amalgam. Is it clear? So we call it as amalgam. When you mix a metal along with the mercury, you call it as amalgam. So far we have discussed about the different blocks of the periodic table, position of hydrogen, position of rare gas, what are metals, metalloids and non-metals, alloys and its advantages. So with this we are completing this lesson. The next class will start new lesson from physics. Today also you have to complete your classwork as a writing homework. Submit your assignment on time, write neatly, copy as it is whatever I am sending to you, and then you have to read the questions as whatever I am sending you as reading homework. Is it clear, children? Thank you.